So, isn't this fun? But what did you miss out on? I mean, you can't be too unhappy about the fact that there's homework due 5 days in a row, Mr. Kanoy, because what are you not having to turn in? 2 cases. Two cases. 2 or 3? 2. So you did 3? Yeah. Okay, so 2 cases. So that's the reason there's homework kind of close together. Otherwise, you'd have some cases mixed in. So it could be worse. It's on film. You might want to go get
that would have been the logical idea.
Something to clean up the mess. This is.
I need to make sure it's still not foaming first.
Okay. Well, now we have been appropriately distracted, and Dr. Fessler had nothing to do with that. Toilet paper.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I'll go get some. I work in food services. They have paper towels.
Yeah, bring some. And can you bring some wet ones too?
Oh.
Yeah, sure.
She's got answers. Mr. Duck makes me mad every day.
I cannot clean up the mess, but we can disinfect it afterwards.
Clean up the mess.
Well, we can de-stickify it.
Yeah, that'll help with the de-stickifying. Yes, which is a highly technical cleaning term. Nah, de-stickifying. So what are we going to talk about today? Mr. Waller, what are we going to talk about today? Who? He doesn't know who he is. I mean, I've had that problem in my lifetime.
Absorption costing
What
and variable costing.
Do you trust Taylor that much?
I do, with my life.
Well, that's a lot of trust. Absorption costing and variable costing. Have we talked about this before, Aubrey? Aubrey. Dr. Fessler to Aubrey. She's distracted by the cleaning exercise that is going on. That is okay. Maybe bringing carbonated beverages to class is not always the best choice. And then shaking them before you walk in. I mean, shaking it before you walk in and then opening it in class might not be your best choice.
Hey, you know what, Fessler? I never said I was good at thinking through things.
And so, anyway, she's going to come back and mission's going to be accomplished and she's going to be sad because she went and did all that work for nothing. Oh, Aubrey, have we talked about absorption costing and variable costing income statement formats before? Yes. Do you know, can you give me the absorption costing income statement format? Because what page in the handy-hand book should you be on? 369, page 369. Is the absorption one on the left? Yeah. Yes. So, Aubrey, give me the absorption costing income statement format. You don't have this memorized?
Well, I do if I'm by myself.
What are you saying?
I can't even think of what it's.
Revenue, yes. You have lots of people willing to help you.
Minus cost of goods sold.
Minus cost of goods sold, which was Brandon's contribution. And then?
Sorry.
That's okay.
Equals gross margin.
Equals gross margin.
Minus selling and administrative.
Yes. Equals?
Net profit or income.
Operating income. Okay. Works for me. Good enough for government work. As it were. And we are at a government institution. Mr. Musgrave, variable costing income statement format, please. Equals? Okay. Operating income. Thank you. She is an... That portion of the desk is going to be as clean as it has been in moons. Moons. Taylor, how are you? Great. Great. Now, what I'm going to do, up to this point, we've kind of assumed that these are 2 different ways to slice the pie, if you will, 2 different ways to arrive at the same information. And so I want to get us a relationship between these two financial statements. What are the T accounts down the left side, Taylor? And I'm going to split your third answer into two parts, variable manufacturing overhead and fixed manufacturing overhead. What, Taylor?
Haven't we already done this in, did we do this in managerial?
Yes, you did. So it should seem highly familiar. And then here we're going to have fixed or variable selling and administrative and fixed selling. And I don't know what my deal is today with writing. Selling and administrative, okay? So now we've got 6 categories of cost, if you will. And what I want to do is take those over there, okay? Take those over there. So if you could help me, if you would, please. Who's next? Carrie, pick one, anyone. Take it from the absorption costing income statement format and send it on over to the variable costing income statement format. Okay. Is it variable or fixed? You asking me or tell me? I'm sorry?
Telling you.
You're telling me? Very good. Direct material. Brandon, you're on.
Sorry, I'm just copying from
All right.
we take one of those from over there to there?
Yes, sir.
Direct labor, variable cost.
Direct labor, variable cost. This isn't too hard, is it?
No,
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, David, what do you got for me? Man, that one was rough, wasn't it? that was a toughie. Variable overhead is a variable cost. Indeed. Indeed. Nick. That was another toughie. Variable selling and administrative is a variable cost. And then what? And now it gets even harder. Maybe you should do the next two, Jackie.
Fixed overhead and fixed billing.
They are, aren't they? Somehow that's just the way it works out. Now, one thing that we may or may not have talked about before is the fact that here, let's talk about this first. What goes into inventory here? What costs go into inventory, Nathan? Product. Ooh, I like the word. What are product costs? Yes. All the cost of goods sold is a product cost. So all of this goes into inventory. Okay? All of that goes into inventory. What you might not know is if for a company that's using a variable costing system, the only thing that goes into inventory are these top 3. And so we've got this fellow right there, fixed overhead. In one of these income statement formats is going into inventory. In the other, it is not. And that creates issues with regard to the calculation of income. And issues in the sense that what we're going to learn today is that operating income under the 2 methods is not always the same. And why are they not always the same? Because fixed overhead is treated differently on the two in the 2 income statement formats. Okay? It goes into inventory in one, it does not in the other, and therefore income is not always